Hello, my name is Jacqueline Volcano. I'm going to take you on a tour of my ESL 1 and 2 Canvas class that I created in the TESOL Spring 2020 Cohort 7. In deciding on which LMS to use, I have experience using 6 different learning management systems, but since my school uses Canvas, that's what I decided to use. This 1-week course is a pilot for our regular 15-week semester-long course. I got some ideas of layout from different areas. I took my entire master's in TESOL program online, so I got some ideas of what I like from different professors' courses. I took an Introduction to Canvas course by @1, and I got some layout ideas for the homepage. And project idea in the Canvas Commons, I got some ideas on how to do some activities. I learn a lot of technology for education through YouTube, so I thought creating video tutorials for my students would be best for them. My target students are beginner adult English language learners at a community college. They have limited digital literacy skills and only have access to smartphones. So I need to test all of my assignments on the Student Canvas app. For our Canvas program, Canvas for Schools, I can use my instructor email to log into the Canvas student app. For this TESOL program, I use Canvas the free Canvas for Teachers, and so I use my personal email address to log into the student app. My ESL program has open enrollment for 1 to 2 months, so I need to make very specific instructions for students that enroll in the program late. So let's go on a tour of my course. My homepage has the announcements at the top, and this can be set through the Choose Homepage at the right. And then this layout idea I got from the @1 Canvas program. So each of these are buttons that go to different pages of my course. I created them and the image in canva.com. My homepage and orientation are all in English and Spanish. I teach 100% Spanish speakers. And then there's a button at the bottom that takes them to their first page. So I'm going to first go through the menu on the left. So we have announcements. My welcome announcement is here. I started using my Bitmoji to show some teacher presence. The welcome email showed them students how to log into their Canvas account, download the app, and connect to their class, and a little introduction video on how to use the Canvas Student app. A tip on creating announcements is use the delay posting button so that you can check the layout before it goes out. When I noticed that students weren't joining right away into the Canvas course, I started creating daily announcements. So they just have the goals for the day, what activities they will be doing, and show them how to access the feedback from previous assignments. And then there's a button at the bottom to go to the first assignment for the day. I'm going to skip modules and come back to that. For the syllabus, I used somemore.com, which is a really cool app. You do have a limit of how many newsletters, I think it's 3 or 4 newsletters that you can create, and you can only edit for 30 days. So you can add in images, create buttons, show them technology requirements, what apps we'll be using. For the semester-long program, we'll use a textbook, materials that they'll need in class, and a certificate that they'll earn at the end of the program. I use badges for each module, so after they complete the module, they'll earn a badge. I didn't use discussion activities in my week-long course, but I did create an ESL cafe so they can post any kind of questions or whatever to their classmates or teacher that doesn't specifically relate to a particular module. For grades, I won't go here just because of student privacy, but I connected our outcomes of college and career readiness standards. So there's one page for grades first to view the points, and then you can click on the Learning Outcomes tab to see more of a visual progress report. The People link allows students to talk to their classmates. And then I created this direct student book audio link using the Redirect app in the Canvas settings. It doesn't open it on the computer here, but it does open in the app. And then badges. These are the 2 badges that I created for the 2 modules. I'm going to go back to modules. So for layout, I created an orientation module with all the administrative stuff and helpful links. And then module 1 is the English skill learning activities. So in Canvas, you can set up requirements with this 3 dots and edit tool, and that will allow you students to earn these green checks at the right. So some requirements are mark done, submit, score at least 5 points, and then I used the header to create sections here, so getting started and class details. And then in module 1, I separated them by the day. This is a lot to cover in one day for the orientation module. In a regular semester-long course, I'd spread it over 1 week. Another tip is to use numbers for your activities. It helps when you need to reference to a particular activity for a student or your class. So I'm going to jump into a couple of the activities. I do use a lot of images, step-by-step instructions, screenshots of what students need to do, and at the end of an activity, specifically what they need to do to complete it. This bottom section, to continue, click next, is really helpful for beginner level students, and that idea I got from the @1 Canvas course that I took. And this is instructions on the Canvas student app, and I created a Canvas tour of how to use the app, and these instructions also went out in the welcome email. For Meet Your Teacher, I created a Google Slides presentation and then made it into a video. For meeting your classmates, I use Flipgrid, so I have some instructions. I created a tutorial video, and then I used the LTI integration to connect it. So we just saw the syllabus, course syllabus, so I also created a quiz using a Google form. So when I use the embed code, some students' mobile devices don't let them allow to do the activity, so I always have this backup plan of providing the link. And then at the bottom of the orientation, I have some helpful links for students to learn how to do particular activities. And this is the introduction of our ESL Cafe discussion board, and then there's some Canvas guides I attached. This is in the wrong place and I couldn't erase it. I have information on how to view feedback, and I repeat this throughout the week and course. And at the end, there's an orientation summary. And then the last activity, they can see themselves earn the badge. In Module 1, I have a little introduction. For the video, or for the vocabulary activity, I use Quizlet, so I had a little a video tutorial. They needed to join the class. I gave them some instructions. Sometimes I give backup instructions for computer if they're a little different. And then they needed to submit their score. For the grammar and writing activity, I had them copy a chart in their notebook. I split it into 2 sections. The first 2, they needed to watch a video and then write their answers in the columns. And the last one was the third activity. They had to locate the verbs in a reading, and then to submit, they needed to write some sentences and then take a photo of their completed chart and sentences. And I could annotate on my end, I could annotate the photo. And at the end of the daily activities, I put a little stop sign. For the last activity, I had them do a video project using Seesaw. So preliminary step was to create a storyboard using photos from their phone, and they need to draw pictures and then write sentences based on a grammar point that they were learning. And then I showed them an example of what I wanted, and they would submit the photo, and I would hopefully have time to correct it before they started their project on Seesaw. I created a tutorial video for them, took a couple screenshots to help out, and to submit, they had to copy the link from Seesaw and post it in Canvas. So I'm going to jump over to the Canvas app quick. So here you have the home page where the buttons will show up at the top, and announcements, the modules. The syllabus is broken into 2 parts. So here's the S'more app, the newsletter that I created, and the summary shows their assignments and due dates. And there's the discussion, grades, people, and here's the student book audio link that goes directly to the website. And then the last one is badges. It doesn't show up as nicely on the mobile device, but it's there. Okay. And just to wrap up, these are a few things that I would change moving forward. I would spread the orientation module into a full week when I have the 15-week course. I would limit to 3 to 4 required apps that students would need to download, which would be Canvas, Remind, and Seesaw. For using third-party tools like Edpuzzle and Flipgrid, I'd make a more automatic feedback and then build in a Canvas tool like a quiz or a Canvas survey to be a graded assignment. I would change the Google Forms to be built-in Canvas quizzes and surveys. Instead of Flipgrid, I would use Seesaw for all audio and video activities. It was just less cumbersome. There's the option to share PDFs with students, and so they can actually annotate the PDF. And I would make assignment instructions into PDFs instead of the images in each assignment. After week 1 or week 2, I would just make it into a link, and then I would split initial responses and responses to classmates. We did it on Flipgrid for this week project, but also like discussion boards. It's just a little, my beginner level students just didn't figure it out that there's a 2-part sequence to the assignment. So thank you for listening, and enjoy the challenge in TESOL.